Well, guys, welcome back to another episode of Stalking Shadows. This is episode 8. My name is Wayne Dell. For those of you who are new to the channel and are wanting to find out more about hunting in South Africa, the Eastern Cape, the industries ins and outs, and more about myself, this is a great place to be. And we have this is the third season. We have 2 other seasons. For those of you who want to know more about me, season 1 is about how it all kicked off. Season 2 is about being the freelance guide. And season 3 is about the industry and the ups and downs of being an outfitter. So we just finished up an epic hunt in the Karoo. And it was really something that I think a lot of international guys need to experience. The Eastern Cape is one of the most diverse provinces throughout South Africa. As you guys have seen in my videos, I'm more based along the coast, along the Great Fish River, and it's really thick, dense bush. You can go an hour in every direction or 2 hours in every direction, and you can change the areas that you'll be hunting in. So 2 hours from me, I can put you guys in nearly 10,000 feet above sea level. I can go 4 hours from me and I'll put you in semi-desert. So it's one of the most diverse provinces out there. And I do think it's definitely on a bucket list if you are an avid hunter to come out and experience what the Eastern Cape has to offer. So let's get back to our story. As in episode 7, you saw the doom of being an outfitter and being duped out, or I don't know what better word. I was caught out because of my kindness and thinking I had a friend. I actually got caught out by 2 people. So the industry is a very cutthroat industry, and I think you've got to be very careful of who you involve yourself with, especially if you're a young professional hunter getting into it, where you get yourself into, how you line yourself up. Think of, for me, the biggest thing is, what are your morals? What are your values? What are you wanting to portray as a hunter, you yourself? So what are your ethics? Where you're hunting, is it fair chase? The industries are tough ones. So you are chasing to get work, but then you might end up somewhere where you hunt a season and it doesn't fit your mold. So then you can move on and look for another place to hunt where you might meet up with a bunch of great guys and learn from their experiences and do it the right way. I went through multiple outfitting companies because of obviously having to try and make as much time up in the bush to make a full salary, to have a livelihood. So you got to fill up your days, and I think I was one of the true freelance guides. I was hunting for 3-4 different companies at a time, trying to fill up my season. Where guys say they're freelance guys, but they're solely stuck with one company. You're not freelance anymore. You're just one of the guys in that company. So I had a bad run with a client, got me into a lot of debt. I had to take a step back from the industry. It took me about 5 years to get out of my tricky situation, working jobs, freelancing in between, doing what I could to get back on track again. But I think the best thing I did was I never ever shut down. I never closed my business. I never said, the hunting industry, I'm done with it. Because that's my passion. That's where I want to be. This is where I want to be. I want to be out in the bush. I think the biggest drive for me in this industry is, it's not the fact that we go out hunting and the shooting the great animals and shooting trophy animals and the high end quality that I try and aim for. It's the education side of it. It's teaching people about South Africa, teaching people about the Eastern Cape. And I think that is what's super, super, super important, getting to know the country that you're in. Because we all have different hardships and different things that we go through Living in the States is completely different to living here. Living in Canada is completely different to living here. Living in the UK is completely. And I think if you take in those cultures, you'll understand more about what we as professional hunters have to go through daily. So I got myself a job, kind of worked hard at it to try and pay my debt back. And my idea when I sat chatting with my wife was, how do we take this forward again? Because obviously, there's always two sides to every story. Three sides is the truth. You've got a guy who's overseas who says he was upset with what happened here. I did what I thought I'd done everything to make him happy. So there's a guy sitting that side, not saying very nice things about you. I'm this side, not saying, wanting to get paid what I'm owed, because the guy shot all his animals that he was out for, and he got the experience that he asked for, from my perspective, because he wanted to hunt free range properties and open felt and so on, and it was all organized. So I said to my wife, I said, I need to start fresh. So how do we go about this? So in this time I was hunting, doing a couple of freelance gigs. My brother and I really started. My brother is probably more of an avid hunter than what I am, but personally for himself, and he loves getting out in the bush and getting out there. So we always hunted together. He has got a little meat side business that he does, because he's a qualified blacksmith farrier. He shoes horses for a living, and we were hunting together. And then I sat there, and we'd done trips to the Northern Cape. We'd done trips around the Eastern Cape. We were doing things together, and the idea was, like, when I hunted with clients as well, it wasn't like everyone goes like, arrive as friends, leave as family. It's true in a sense, but the guys that I really stick with, and even to this day, from hunting way back when, I find it more of a bond as a brother, that the guy is super close to you. I've got Derek, who I've hunted with multiple times now. We're really, really close. Tim is a new client of mine. We hunted last year. He won a package that we were advertising, and we've got really close. And it's more of I really want to say it's more of a brother bond. So, and prior to this, I've got other guys that I've hunted with. Kent, that I hunted with years ago. One of his buddies are coming to hunt buff with us next year. And it's those connections where you never lose touch. And it's a real brother bond. So I said to my wife, I said, let's rebrand. Let's take it away from personal Wayne Dell. Let's push it back. Let's take a step back, and let's find a name. And we toyed with a few names and everything, and it changed to African Brothers Safari. So it was the whole thing of like getting together as like-minded hunters, forming that brother pact, and getting out there and hunting. And it did stem off, everyone can ask, it did stem off having my identical twin brother. I think some of you guys might know that, others might. I got an identical twin, and we have got a close bond. We've competed show jumping overseas. My brother, we started a training company where we trained horses for a living, and he did the blacksmithing side and I did the backing thing, and we called it Dell Brothers Equestrian, Dell Brothers Farrier Service, because we were always involved with each other. And the hunting side of it, in the business side, we weren't involved, but it was a together that we were busy. And I think having my brother with this, but like in this specific part of my outfitting career and getting to do the South Africans, biggest thing is to keep yourself fresh and relevant. So I went and helped him with this things, and we guarded the South African guys, and we hunted, and we did the kalans, and we shot the kudu. It showed that I was still active. I may not have been booking international clients, but I was still active while I was trying to get back on track. And I think that's what a lot of people with social media, especially, because you need to stay relevant, you need to stay active. People need to see that you are out there. And that was super important. We did some great hunts. My brother ran the hunting for a cousin of mine who's not a hunter, but he's got massive stock ranch. So we were jam-packed between June and August hunting there. We did some awesome trips up in Kimberley where we got to know a really awesome guy by the name of Guy Murdoch, who was the manager of a massive racehorse stud, which was also had a massive game farm on. His daughter, we met his daughter, and his daughter introduced us, and we went up there, and I think we took my dad up there for his first trip, in a hunting trip. He hadn't hunted years, and he always wanted a gemspak, and my brother said, let's take him up there, and we went up there for his 60th. We shot gemspak, made great connections, and then year after year, we hunted up there, and I got to meet another buddy of mine who's got a hunting farm in Spain now, Alex, who married Guy's daughter. So, we became good friends. And this was the whole thing where we were staying relevant. We were getting out there, we were hunting, we were showing people what South Africa has to offer. So that's why we changed to African Brother Safari. You'll see my original logo that I had was the waterbuck with the target around it. Then we tried to spice it up a little bit, and we kept the waterbuck with the target, and we used the African continent. And as you go through these phases of your outfitting career, you'll eventually get to one, I think, logo which you kind of stick. And I think when you start this out, you want to go, wow, like try. I think minimalist is best. So when we changed to the African Brother Safari logo, I used a silhouette photo of my brother, and then we used a silhouette photo of a bushman for the bow stuff, and we put that over the African continent. So my wife redesigned that, and then later in the career, I think it was now as recent as 2 years ago or a year ago, we changed to the buffalo logo. My wife and I said, no, I want a solid image, no colors. You can either print it in white, black, green, purple, and the logo will look good, and it'll go on everything. And then we changed to the African Brother Safari with the buff. So that is where we from the struggles of being caught out, having that brother support, pushing for the industry keep going. I know a lot of people is like, oh, Wayne, go get a job, go try and do something else. You need to. And I think if I didn't have the support of those type of people, and then the support of my wife, I think I might not be here. And I think it's super important to have those people in your corner. I'm very lucky with my wife because she is very supportive of my business and helps me wherever she can, whether it's social media side of things, whether it's the base of doing all my invoices and computer stuff and everything like that. That is super important, having that type of person in your corner. And she understands how the market bounces up and down, so it really helps having somebody understand that. She understands when I have to go away, because then that's where I make my money. And then I'm also very lucky that she has a great job and then can help us through the tough times, because booking clients isn't easy, guys. It's one of the toughest industries out there to gain the trust of a stranger, to pay you to do this and enjoy this. So that's just a little bit on how we changed to African brothers, and where we are now. And I think the future's looking bright. We're moving forward. And if you guys are really enjoying these, hit the like and subscribe button. Stay tuned. I think we've got a lot more to offer out there. And if you're wanting to come and experience South Africa with myself and my team, drop a message in the comments. Find us on Instagram, Facebook, find our website, and get in contact. And let's plan your next adventure. So till later, guys. Cheers.